Hi, fourth graders. Back to our decimal strip today, talking about tenths and hundredths. And so when you look at our decimal line, you see it's broken up into 100 little squares, and it's broken up into tens. So we have tenths and we have hundredths, and we labeled those all. But you know, barking. We labeled those all last time. So now I have some more specific numbers to put on. For example, how would you say this? 48 100ths. So we would find where the 40s start, and then we would get to the 48 little squares, and that right there is 48 100ths where it's pointing to. So that should be 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares. Next one, how do you say that? 89 100ths. So we're going to skip to the 80 and go all the way to the second to last one would be 89 100ths. Okay, next one I have, how do you say that? 97 100ths. So we're going to go all the way to 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to go there. Ooh, 7 tenths. So, do we go to the 7 over here, all the way back towards the 0 where there are just 7 squares? No. If you went to the 7 here, you would have 7 hundredths. This is 7 tenths. So we need to go across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these 10 sections. And there it is, 7 tenths. It's the same as 70 100ths. I have one more. 76 100ths. So again, we find the 70. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now what I want you to do is in your math workbook, no, your math spiral notebook. Get your math spiral notebook, open up to the next available page, and we'll do some work with tenths and hundredths. You should have your math notebook, and what I want you to do is draw 3 lines with a decimal point between the ones and the tens, and label them with ones, tenths, and hundredths. And once you do that, unpause it. So pause it, write those down, and then unpause. Okay, once you've unpaused, now we're going to write 2 tenths as a fraction over here. Okay, so 2 over 10. So since 2 tenths is less than a whole, the whole would be 10 tenths. For our ones section, we're going to put a 0. Now for tenths, we're going to put a 2 because it's 2 tenths. Okay, now what do we put anything in the hundredths place? We put a 0 here because there were no whole numbers. And for the hundredths, you could put a 0 there. But if you do, you're changing the fraction from 2 tenths to, you know, it means the same equivalent amount. It's 20 100ths. Okay, now I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to erase this. Oh, this is not very wet. There we go. And I'm going to erase this. And you could go ahead and draw another 3 lines with ones, tenths, and hundredths. Or you could just draw 3 lines underneath here, which is what I should have done. But I'm this far in. I can't stop now. Okay, here we go. Our new number we're going to write? We're going to write 4, which is going to be our whole number, and we'll say 32 100ths. Okay, so now we have a whole number as our ones. So this is the 4, is going to go in the ones. And then we have 32 100ths. So we have 3/10 with 2 hundredths. And so when you see a mixed fraction like this, the way you would say it is 4 and 32 100ths. When you see a decimal like this, where this decimal is, you say and. That's going to be our word. So when you're reading this out loud, you would say 4 and 32 100ths. All right, so that's our lesson for today. I hope you're doing well. And if you have any questions, you're going to email me. And that's that. Talk to you later. Not so fast. I forgot to tell you something that they will sometimes trick you into. So you'll have your whole number, say it's 4, and it's out of hundredths, but it's like 7. It's something less than 10. So let's say your number was 4 and 7 100ths. In that case, where it's ones, again you have your 4, but your tenths, we don't have any. It's like you don't have any dimes in your collection of change. You only have pennies. So here you would have a 0. And over hundredths, you would have 7. Because see, there's 7 100ths. So I can't believe I almost forgot to remind you of that. Phew. 4 ones, 0 tenths, and 7 hundredths. So when you're looking at a decimal like this, you can think of money. So here, if you had 100 pennies, you'd have a whole dollar. If you had 7 pennies, you wouldn't be able to have any dimes. So you would have 0 of these. Okay, oh my gosh, that was close. I almost forgot. Thanks.